Welcome to this explainer. Today we're zeroing in on something truly mesmerizing in the world of ceramics. We're talking about sgraffito. And I really want to frame this for you not just as a simple pottery technique, but as a genuine journey of discovery. Every single time you carve into the clay, you're uncovering something completely hidden beneath the surface. It's incredibly satisfying, and by the end of this step-by-step beginner's guide, you're going to know exactly how to execute it perfectly. So let's dive right in.
Here is our step-by-step syllabus for today. We'll start with the magic of scratching, then the right moment, applying the underglaze, the art of carving, layers and bubbles, and finally, the final touch.
Section 1. The magic of scratching, revealing the light.
Before we get into the nitty-gritty mechanics, we really need to understand why this technique has completely captivated artisans for centuries. Sgraffito is one of the oldest and frankly most deeply rewarding decorating methods in the entire history of ceramics. The word itself actually derives from the Italian word meaning to scratch. It's a beautifully simple idea, but with absolutely dramatic results. The whole premise is this: you are literally scratching through a dark, opaque top layer to reveal the bright, untouched clay beneath. Think of it kind of like a classical engraving. You're strategically carving away the darkness to let the light shine through. It's all about revealing rather than adding.
Section 2. The right moment, the perfect foundation.
Now, the absolute foundation of successful sgraffito: precise timing. You really cannot rush this. It's honestly an exact science. And finding that perfect window to work is exactly what separates a frustrating, muddy mess from a crisp masterpiece. That brings us to this crucial concept of leather hard. This is that magical, tactile state where the clay feels firm and solid in your hands. It shouldn't flop around at all, but it's also not completely bone dry. So, how do you test this? Use the fingernail test. Just go to the bottom of your piece and press your fingernail lightly into the clay. If it leaves a clear, crisp mark without feeling mushy or sticky, boom, you've found your perfect carving window.
There are two disastrous extremes you desperately want to avoid here. If your clay is too soft, the pressure from your carving tool is just going to cause the surface to deform and bulge out, which completely ruins your level canvas. But conversely, if you wait too long and the clay gets too dry, the underglaze will aggressively chip, flake, and crack the second you try to carve it. So, hitting that leather-hard sweet spot, absolutely vital for clean, crisp lines.
Section 3. Applying the underglaze, preparing the canvas.
All right, now that we have our perfectly timed leather-hard clay, let's get our hands dirty and talk about the practical setup. Here are your simple, actionable steps. First, define the exact area on the pot you want to decorate. Second, and hey, pay attention because this is a crucial point, apply a single, solid coat of dark underglaze. Black is generally the most striking choice for beginners. And notice I said a single coat. That's actually way more effective than brushing on multiple thick layers. Thick layers just tend to chunk off and make a massive mess when you start carving. Keep it to one smooth coat. And finally, step 3, let it dry entirely before you even think about touching it with a tool.
Section 4. The art of carving, the mechanics of lines.
Okay, this is where the real fun begins, the moment of truth. But how do you know exactly when to make that very first cut? Well, the visual cue you are looking for is when the underglaze completely loses its shine. Once it turns matte, you're ready to etch. And this brilliantly illustrates the mechanics of a perfect line. Your tool should be pulling smooth, continuous ribbons of underglaze as you pull it toward you. For simple tools to guarantee clean lines, you want to use basic wire loop tools or dedicated Sgraffito styluses. If you find yourself having to push too hard, or if the edges of your lines are tearing and looking all jagged, your piece is either too wet or you're forcing the tool. Smooth, effortless ribbons mean you have absolutely nailed the consistency.
Now, playing around with your tool pressure unlocks some seriously rich visual layers. Using light pressure might only scrape away the very top, exposing a different colored underglaze if you've stacked multiple colors. But applying heavy pressure digs right down through all those layers to expose the bare, bright clay body underneath. Oh, and here's a pro tip for organizing your composition. Always start by carving your detailed foreground elements first, and then carefully work your way around to carving out the background.
Section 5. Layers and bubbles, elevating the technique. Let's zoom out a bit now to look at some stunning, advanced visual combinations that will seriously make your pieces pop. Sgraffito isn't just a one-trick pony, you know? There are 3 main variants you can play with. Number 1 is the classic leather-hard approach we've been discussing. That gives you the maximum contrast and the absolute cleanest, sharpest lines. Number 2 is bisque sgraffito, which is done after the first firing.
The massive advantage there is you have infinite time to work because the clay literally can't dry out any further. And number 3 is multi-layer Sgraffito, where you apply multiple underglaze colors and intentionally carve at different depths to reveal a whole spectrum of hidden hues.
Now, let's see how this builds into something truly spectacular. You can actually combine your Sgraffito with bubble glazing. It's like magic. Here's how you do it. Apply your colored, soapy glaze bubbles first. Let those unpredictable organic patterns pop and dry right on the surface. Then paint your dark underglaze where needed and scratch your crisp, highly controlled Sgraffito lines right over or alongside the bubbles. You are literally merging two visual worlds. Try carving organic patterns. Think winding vines, overlapping leaves, or flowing waves that gracefully wrap around and complement the chaos of the bubbles. It creates this incredible visual richness that just draws the eye right in, perfectly marrying wild organic textures with deliberate structured definition.
Section 6. The final touch. The permanent work.
We've done the hard part. The carving is complete. So let's wrap up the physical process safely. Here is exactly how you finish your masterpiece without accidentally ruining all your hard work. Step 1. Use a soft, dry brush to gently sweep away the loose clay crumbs. Whatever you do, and I can't stress this enough, do not use a wet sponge. A wet sponge will smear that dark underglaze right back into the pristine lines you just spent all that time carving. Step 2. Let the piece dry completely and put it through its bisque firing. Step 3. Cover the whole thing with a clear, transparent glaze and fire it a final time. Once that's done, your stunning pattern is permanently locked in glass, safe forever.
Which brings us to our final thought. The clay is waiting, the tools are on the table, and the technique is now entirely yours. So, what hidden layer will you reveal in your first piece? I really hope this explainer has inspired you to get your hands dirty, embrace the magic of scratching, and create something beautiful. Thanks for learning with me today. Stay focused and keep exploring.